Today we got two of the most powerful Avengers, really two of the most powerful characters in the MCU going head to head. Doctor Strange versus Scarlet Witch. Who's coming out on top? Let's find out. Stephen Strange was originally a brilliant neurosurgeon, but suffered a nearly fatal car accident that left his hands crippled. After conventional medicine failed him, Strange embarked on a search that led him to the Ancient One, was introduced to the new world of magic. He then became a student of the Ancient One and mastered the mystic arts, now serving as one of the Earth's protectors against forces that threaten the universe. With magic in the MCU, there's less casting spells or invoking mystical entities, but more Strange harnessing mystical energy from other dimensions to perform his magic. He's able to create eldritch weapons, forming whips and swords in order to battle against enemies. He's also able to create mystical shields, blocking strikes from Caecilius, and even blocking attacks from Dormammu and Thanos himself. Doctor Strange can use his sling ring to create portals to anywhere in the multiverse, instantly sending Thor and Loki to Odin's location, creating a series of portals for Spider-Man to leap through. He can transmute objects, like turning Thanos' black hole into a swarm of butterflies, project himself into the astral plane, and can send himself and others into the mirror dimension, a parallel plane of existence that used to contain threats. He's even able to fire energy blasts and create dozens of clones of himself in order to fight against opponents. And Doctor Strange also has magical artifacts to help him in his fight against otherworldly forces and threats, the Cloak of Levitation and the Eye of Agamotto. With the cloak, while Strange is obviously able to fly, but also protects him from all sorts of attacks, like it's prevented Strange from being stabbed or slashed multiple times, moved him out of the way of objects, so he protected him when his back was turned when he was unconscious. The cloak is even able to attack others, attack one of Caecilius' men, Drax, and even wrapping itself around Thanos' hand. Then with the Eye of Agamotto, well, this is Doctor Strange's most powerful weapon. With it, Strange is able to view alternate futures and possible outcomes, reverse time, freeze time altogether, or create time loops. So that's what we got one corner. Master the mystic arts and Sorcerer Supreme, Doctor Strange. But, enter the ring, at the corner, Wanda Maximoff, the Scarlet Witch. Wanda Maximoff is a native of Sokovia, who, with her twin brother Pietro, acquired superpowers when she volunteered to undergo experiments that exposed her to the power of Loki's scepter, the Mind Stone. The twins joined the forces of Ultron to exact vengeance against Tony Stark for creating the weapons that killed her parents, utilizing Wanda's powers of telekinesis and mental manipulation to dismantle and create discord among the Avengers. However, upon discovering Ultron's true intentions, Wanda and Pietro switched sides to the Avengers, fought against Ultron during the Battle of Sokovia, and Wanda would go on to become a key member of the team as the Scarlet Witch. Wanda's main power revolves around manipulating and unleashing sonic powers that she gained through exposure to the cosmic forces of an Infinity Stone. She has the ability of telekinesis, using it to throw dozens of cars at Iron Man, break through Ultron's vibranium chest, push back a Leviathan, throw back an oncoming wave of giant threshers, even block a downward strike from Thanos and proceed to restrain the Titan and lift him up into the air. And it's not just sheer raw power, but Wanda also has great technical control and skill over her telekinesis. She's constantly used it to fly. She can tag opponents out of the air, and even used it to mend Vision's vibranium body. Scarlet Witch also has the ability of telepathy, reading both Iron Man and Vision's inner thoughts. And she also has the ability to mentally manipulate a person, commanding a large number of Sokovians to flee the city, even taking down every single Avenger except Hawkeye and Iron Man by messing with their heads. Finally, Scarlet Witch is just able to conjure up the sonic energy in a physical form itself, manipulate it however she wants. She's used this tactic to dismantle Ultron bots, kill Outriders, members of Thanos' army, and even destroy the Mind Stone while simultaneously holding back Thanos, who had 5 Infinity Stones on his side. So who wins? Well, let's break it down. Now, when a lot of people think of powerhouses in the MCU, they think of people like Thor, Captain Marvel, Hulk, maybe Iron Man, definitely Thanos. But I think two that get kinda unsung are Doctor Strange and Scarlet Witch. which is a shame. So in a battle between Doctor Strange and Scarlet Witch, between two people who went toe-to-toe against Thanos, who would come out on top? Well, today that's what we're going to find out. Also, just a note, we're not going to be giving Doctor Strange the Time Stone in this fight, because that just seems a little bit unfair. The Time Stone is arguably the most powerful of all the Infinity Stones. Doctor Strange definitely knows how to use it to its utmost potential and is willing to use it at the moment he needs to. And I think it just stacks the deck a little too much in Strange's favor. Plus, as we saw in his fight against Thanos, even in the showings in Endgame, Strange can definitely hold his own no matter what. So it's not like it's an unfair fight without the stone either. So with all that being said, let's break it down. And first thing I want to take a look at, which one of these two is more powerful? Who's got more raw, unadulterated power? Well, I think it's got to be Scarlet Witch. Yep, definitely looks like it's Wanda. I mean, just looking at her telekinesis, the stuff she's done is kinda insane. Starting out, there are two people in the MCU who have ripped apart vibranium. Thanos and Scarlet Witch. She's held up a falling air traffic control tower, casually thrown rubble and large pieces of debris at Thanos, and she was even able to block a downward strike from Thanos and his sword, a strike where Thanos was absolutely putting all of his weight and power behind it. Remember, it was this same kind of strike that was powerful enough to break apart Captain America's shield. Yet Wanda is able to hold it back, even hold it back with just one hand. She's managed to hold and push back against the Leviathan, which is something that Hulk had to exert a considerable amount of effort to do. She managed to stop an oncoming wave of Threshers, hold them up in the air, and then send them crashing to the ground, and even lift Thanos up into the air and squeeze down on top of him, forcing him to order an airstrike at the expense of his own troops just to be able to escape her. And yet, I know Doctor Strange has some telekinesis feats of his own. He even managed to hold back a massive vortex of water, keep it held back throughout the entire endgame battle. And I've heard it called just as impressive as Scarlet Witch's feats, but it's really not. It just isn't. Wanda has consistently shown an insanely high level of power with her telekinesis. Doctor Strange holding back some water isn't going to change that. I've also heard people say that because Doctor Strange held back a 4-stone Thanos with his hundreds of Eldritch Whips, that's more impressive than Scarlet Witch restraining Thanos, and again, I don't think that's true. Thanos never looked worried while he was restrained by Doctor Strange. Scarlet Witch had him looking terrified. The same kind of look like when Thor was coming at him with Stormbreaker, or when Iron Man stole the Infinity Stones. I think that says enough right there. But if you want to get into it, Scarlet Witch also managed to restrain a 5-stone Thanos while simultaneously destroying the last remaining stone in Vision's forehead. In my mind, that's more impressive. But here's the thing. Did you actually know that Scarlet Witch's powers aren't cosmic or psionic? She's actually manipulating magic, just like Doctor Strange. However, Wanda's is a much more chaotic form of magic, because she never received any formal training, and had to figure out her abilities on her own, making her magic much less precise and focused than the likes of someone like Doctor Strange. I mean, you can literally see this on the screen too. Wanda's powers take the shape of just amorphous energy. Strange, other masters of mystic arts, put forth energy in intricate shapes and details. And this kind of leads us into the whole crux of this video. The whole crux of the argument. Raw power versus skill and control. Because while Wanda might have more power, and technically might even have a greater connection to magic as a whole, Doctor Strange has a whole lot more skill, control, and all the versatility that goes along with it. He's got the ability to form eldritch weapons ranging from swords to staffs to whips. He can create eldritch shields capable of blocking attacks in both Dormammu and Thanos, and always has his trusty sling ring on him. With this sling ring, he managed to open up portals to wherever he wants to go. He even managed to open up portals across the universe all at the same time. And in a fight, well, he's used them to redirect attacks, or even just remove someone completely from the battlefield and send them flying away to who knows where. He's capable of transmuting attacks from the Space Stone into a harmless form of butterflies, can use the mirror dimension to block blast from the Power Stone, or just straight up trap people inside the mirror dimension. He's created dozens of clones of himself that can act simultaneously, fire arcs of red hot energy, and even open up dimensional rifts in the earth and drag opponents down into it before sealing them off for forever. And Wanda's got absolutely no counter for this sort of stuff. Mainly literally being dragged into other dimensions where she has no way to escape. On the other hand, Strange can definitely counter Wanda's attacks. Like, look at her telekinesis or energy blast. You can either say that they're similar to magic, similar to an Infinity Stone, probably a little bit of both. Strange has countered all of it before, just made it look easy while doing it. I see absolutely no reason why I can't do the exact same thing here. Scarlet Witch is also never going to get close enough to mentally manipulate Doctor Strange, considering that she had to get right up on the Avengers in order to do it. And I'm sure Strange has some level of resistance on top of that. And if Wanda is able to restrain Strange, that's where the Cloak of Levitation can come in, as it helped him out before in situations exactly like that. And it's not even like Scarlet Witch is fast enough to simply outreact Doctor Strange because they've got roughly the equivalent speed. Nor can she simply outlast him in a fight, because they're both glass cannons. And remember, a lot of Scarlet Witch's strength level is tied in with her emotions, like when she destroyed all the Ultron bots after realizing her brother had been killed. While Wanda's gotten a better handle over her powers since then, when she went up against Thanos, she was super pissed off, understandably. And so she was going all out against Thanos, just giving him all she's got. It was basically the closest we've seen an MCU hero be literally bloodlusted, except for Thor. And so while that clearly is the absolute height of her powers, she won't be able to tap into that same level of power here, simply because she's going up against Strange, and she doesn't have the same history or the same emotions towards Doctor Strange as she does towards Thanos. So, end of the day, if both Doctor Strange and Scarlet Witch are manipulating the same type of energy and both utilizing magic in the fight, which they are, Kevin Feige said so, then that means that Scarlet Witch's greatest asset is just her raw power. And that's not going to be enough here, simply because Doctor Strange has the knowledge, versatility, skill, and experience necessary to counter that raw power. He's fought against both Dormammu and Thanos, so it's not like Scarlet Witch's power level is going to throw him off either. Scarlet Witch might get more training and more skill as her and Doctor Strange start tag teaming and crossing over in movies and shows. But right now, Doctor Strange's skill and versatility is enough to overcome Wanda's raw power. Doctor Strange is coming out on top here. Doctor Strange wins. But what do y'all think? I would love to hear your thoughts, so sign off in the comments down below. Also, be sure to like button, the subscribe button, turn on the notifications, join the DanCo army, and I will see you next time.